All right, so this is the second part of this video. I think it's probably a good idea to go over some basics of ggplot for publication. Just so you all know, when it comes to your own thesis projects, a lot of the times your advisors would be thrilled if you would publish part of it. We're going to talk about, one, how to make some of these figures with error bars, with text above the error bars, and set up a nice pretty theme for this one particular figure. But journals also typically require a certain set of specifications too. It's going to have a high resolution. We're at a DPI with a minimum of about 300. Usually widths are either 3.25 or 6.5. And you'll want to keep your figures at least having a relatively consistent theme across figures, right? So your color or shape used or whatever for one of your treatments shouldn't swap with another one between figures, right? That'll drive a reviewer nuts. I rejected things on less than that. So anyway, let's make a figure for publication. Hopefully you've taken a second to go through this on your own, give it your best shot. This is a pretty tough one to make. So I'm going to, of course, library ggplot2, everyone's favorite. I'm just going to click it because I need to update my my R, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So anytime we work with ggplot, we're going to call, of course, ggplot. And we just ended our last video with plot data. So we're going to call our data frame plot data. We're going to pull that data frame and work from that. We're going to set our aesthetics. In this case, we're going to do x equals treatment, y equals mean, and just as a reminder, treatment, we'll also want to set year as probably our fill. Treatment's the X item. I like that one better personally, if you remember the assignment from 2, 3, 5 weeks ago. Having this mean is the same as this mean, so it really doesn't matter what we choose, but we know that we're going to need column number 2, treatment, column number 3, year, either column number 5 or column number 8, that mean value. I'm going to use standard error because it gives me prettier looking pictures. So we'll need column 7. And above standard error on that error bar, I want to put the letters from group in column number 9. That's giving us our means comparisons. So we've got our treatment, we've got the mean, but I want that fill to be set for year. Okay, let's just run that, see if it gives us anything meaningful at all. Year, oh, I've got to capitalize that, don't I? Okay, so we've got the basis of our figure started. Good. What are we missing? We're missing our bars, right? So let's do geom bar. We're going to do position equals position dodge. This is just going to give us nice functionality here in terms of that overall aesthetic. I advise just playing around with this to see what happens if you take out the position equals position dodge. If you take out stat equals DENTITY identity, things like that, right? Play around with this. What I'm showing you is how I would go about doing it. You can go about doing it 1,000 different ways. So yeah, give it a shot. I'm going to do size for the geom bar equals, I don't know, 0.5, and color, and that's setting the color, COLOR equals, that's setting the color of the bar outline equals black. All right, let's see if this gives us anything else. Okay, this is nice. So what if we were to call this color, I don't know, white? Whatever. Not doing much for us. Well, we'll just call it black and stick with that. Adjust this size from 0.5 to 1.5. Nothing that we can see too dramatic happening there. Okay, but good. I'm actually going to copy, paste, and do that number, just because I'm kind of having fun with this. Whoa, right? Position dodge definitely gives us something that we want. Otherwise, we're stuck with a stacked bar graph, right? Let's see, does this go back to what we want? It does. Good, good. Okay, we're going to add another item to this figure. We're going to do geom error bar. We're going to say, gosh, what are we going to do here? Let's set an aesthetic. We're going to do, for the error bar, we're going to set a Y minimum and Y maximum. Again, following that same basic format as you probably have done already in Microsoft Excel. Y min equals mean minus SE. If you remember from, where's it at? Plot data, mean standard error. Y max equals mean plus standard error. Okay. We can set some error bar widths. I'm going to say width equals 0.5, size equals 0.8. We're just adding some nice aesthetics here. We're going to, of course, do position equals position dodge. Whoops. We're going to use 0.9. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Do we get error bars from this? Really hope so. Okay, this is great. These are the error bars. This is where our error over replications is represented. We see that the bars are not the same across, right? That's convenient. Wonder if we put this as 0.9, what happens? We just have that nice consistent 0.9 across. I don't know. Didn't hurt anything. Let's keep it. Geom text. Now we're adding a label above that. And we can use geom text for a lot of functions. In this case, we're going to use it to put in the means comparison. We're going to put that value in from our 2-key test. So as always, we're going to start with that aesthetic. And we're going to start by calling out a label. We're going to say label equals group. Was it capital or lowercase? Plot data group is capitalized. Label equals group. And we want to decide where we want to place this label now. Let's place this label at Y equals mean plus standard error. And let's see what that gives us. Run. Oh, okay, so we got some problems. First, we see that mean plus standard error doesn't quite give us the position we want. So let's add 2 to it. Why not? And we need to set its position with position dodge, right? This is just the position function that I'm using. Equals 0.9. I'll take out the zeros to keep it consistent. And then let's see what we get from here. I should also mention you can also set colors in here. I'll let you play with that yourself, but it looks like +2, or mean plus standard error +2 got us to a pretty good point. We can rotate this text 90 degrees if we want. I don't see much point in doing that because it's easy enough to read. We have a maximum of 3 letters above. We can adjust it a little bit more from here, but I think that's pretty good. I'm happy enough with that. And once we set a width of 6.5, because I think 3.5 is going to be too much of a crunch. That should spread itself out so we don't have any of that weird overlap like we have here. Because we're going to export this to our computer directly instead of just saving this picture. So let's set our Y scale. We're going to do scale Y as continuous. Let's do expand equals C. We're going to set this to the 0, 0 point. There's this 0, 0. Limits equals, I don't know. Looks like it's going maybe 0 through 60. Let's add 5 on top of that and call it 0 through 65. So C, limits equals C, 0, 65. All right, let's see if this gives us anything nice. Okay, we're getting a nice, prettier picture. Maybe I want to set it just a smidge higher. We'll see. My goal is to move our legend from here to the side up to right here eventually. Because I think we have a nice lower section here for that no-till only situation. I think that'd be nice to move this from here to there. All right. So as you're going through, you're also thinking ahead on what you want this figure to look like. You're not just looking at it and saying yes, no, adjust. You're thinking how you can get yourself set up for the next items, right? The next parts on here. I don't like these axis labels at all. Mean, not so great. Treatment, I might as well just keep it as treatment. Let's go ahead and set them both anyway, just for the heck of it. Labels, labs, X, and let's set these both as expressions just because. I'm going to make them bold. Call X as treatment. I'm going to say Y equals expression. I'm going to call it bold again. I'm going to call this one, let's call it tomato yield. Yield. And we have expression chosen for a reason. I like to have my units looking as perfect as possible. Now, when it comes to publication format, make sure you have everything in the metric units and using metric system. You're going to find here that we can go through all these steps, but if we don't have the right units on here, we might as well just redo the whole thing, which is where we're at right now. But we're going to set this as tons per acre. We're going to use this little up caret, set some cool brackets, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is why we use the expression, so we could set up this portion of it, if I did it right. Okay, we did it right. Congrats, team. So again, tons per acre. Nah, not so much. That's not the best idea I've had all day. But at least we have a figure, and the figure on its own, you know, honestly, for a thesis, that's pretty darn good. That's something you just click export on, save as image, save it wherever you want to save it, and go. But I don't know. I think we can add to it. We're Chico State Wildcats after all, right? We're the best of the best. We want to add a theme, right? We want a nice theme. I'm going to keep the colors as they are. You can set your colors in this section here, but I'm going to add a theme. And what should I put in this theme? We can do a lot of neat things in the theme. Let's start with panel border. And you see that all these great options pop up, as they always do. Panel.border, border on the plotting area. I like borders. We're going to do element rectangle, element rect. It's really just making a rectangle. You only got a certain number of options. So the theme is where you should get most comfortable most quickly. Color equals black. And I don't want to fill. If I just do this, I've got some other issues. I'm going to say fill equals NA. Let's run this, see what we get. All right, we got a nice, pretty solid rectangle around. It's just that black line going around. I think that adds a lot of value to this. We're going to use a comma instead of a plus here and do panel.grid. Grid major. I don't think we really need to worry about this since it's not really showing up, but we'll do this anyway. Element blank. We can do the same thing for the minor values. There are some times when you want to include these, right? Specifying grid lines on the figures. Personally, I hate grid lines. They drive me up the wall. But you might like them. So you can do from here element, I don't know, whatever you want. I'm going to do blank though. I don't like it. Let's see. Might as well do strip background. That's background for those facet labels. Element rectangle. Fill equals white. All right, what else can we do? Let's look at our let's take out our axis ticks. I don't like these down here so much. I like that just nice blanket grouping. Axis ticks, but only on the x-axis dot x. Whoa, there's something wrong. Let's just scroll through axis ticks x. There we go. We're going to do element blank. Cool. Let's run this. Whoa, I don't go that far up. I just want to run the ggplot portion. All right, so we got rid of those tick marks. Everything's looking pretty good all in all. We've got a couple things I want to change. I want to change this weird gray, light gray formatting here, the light gray formatting there. I'll move this legend over eventually. So let's keep working on this theme. Let's see, strip text. Let's set this for both of them. I'm going to say element.text. I'm going to say face equals bold. That's a new one. see what happens when I do that. Whoa, jumping up too far again. Okay, oh, we already set those, didn't we? All right, didn't help us much. Let's give that a second. Let's actually, no, let's keep going on that. We'll do axis dot text equals element text. Let's see, let's go with size equals 12, color equals black. Okay, I think we already had those set. And we can go through a bunch of other items on here, right? You've got all the options in the world. You type axis and go from there. Why can't I remember what those are called? Oh, I gotta do that. Forgot my comma. Otherwise, it's going to give me an error message. Oh, okay, it was that. Good, good. I'm going to set the size for the strip text as, I don't know, 12. Keep that the same as, oh, let's make it a little bit smaller. As those titles. Beautiful. I like this. This looks good so far. Oh, wait a minute. I got these backwards somehow. I apologize. Let's try that one more time. And that's part of the beauty of it. You get to go through, make a couple mistakes on it as you work through. You eventually wind up with something that looks good enough. Okay. I'm feeling overall pretty good about where we're at here. Let's work on that legend from here. So type in legend, L-E-G, legend. We have a lot of things that we can start with. Let's start with legend.title. Nope, not .text, .title. Let's do element text because it's text that we're working with. And let's do size equals 11. Face equals bold. We're looking at that. All right, bold, size 11, great. Let's do legend title. I'm sorry, not title, text. And now we're going to work on this text level of it. We can do a lot of things with that. We can set sizes of these boxes. We can make it go horizontal or vertical. We can place it all over the place. The legend on the whole, that is. For the text, we're of course going to do element blank or element text. Element blank might get rid of it. But if you want to get rid of your legend, do legend.position equals none, none in quotations. In this case, we're doing legend.text, element text, and let's do size equals 10. I don't think I want to make it bold. I think having that clear year option is probably fine. Okay, so we just made sure that we set it a size that's just a little bit smaller. That's good. Now let's move that position. Let's do legend.position. And we're going to set this based on where we want to see it in this figure. So let's see. Let's do C. If you remember that C option, let's do 0.5. 0.5. Now, you might guess this is going to land in the dead center, somewhere around here. That's not what we want with our legend, right? We want to be able to see our figure, but just to show how it works, bam, right in the dead center. I want this up here, so I'm going to change it from 0.5 to 0.1. Okay, that's about where I want it. But I want to raise it up a little bit. So let's take it from 0.5 to, I don't know, we'll try 0.9. I think that might be a little bit too high. Yeah, it's a lot of bit too high. Let's go with 0.8. Might be a little too low. Might start covering the letters. Yep, starts covering the letters. Let's do 0.83. And it's important to remember that at this stage of it, if you're going to use it on this figure alone, you'll need to worry about how it looks right here on your screen, right? If you click export, save as image, you can change those aspect ratios all you want. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're stuck with that overlapping, right? You change it a little bit bigger, aha, it's off. That's valuable. If we make it smaller, well, everything keeps that same text size that we preset, right? So we want to shoot somewhere around there. Good. Now, what I'm going to do is use a print and save function. And this is a good way to get it from R to your computer. So I'm going to call this figure 1. Manuscript journals will usually want you to submit your figures separate from your manuscript. So it's good to have these saved anyway with its title. I'm going to call it figure 1 and make sure I save it in the right folder. So I'm going to do print. Let me run this first. So I've got figure 1 up here. Figure 1. List of 9. That's crazy. How does that work? Print figure 1. And that should just print out what we already made. Now I know I need to increase the size from, I forget what its preset width is. I'm going to use the ggsave command from ggplot2. I'm going to save it. Well, I guess I can just scroll up and copy and paste, huh? Well, that's not going to work. I need to save this differently. I need to save this following that same set of lines. C : dash. Was it user or users? Users, Kyle. Users dash Kyle dash PC desktop Chico hire dash R class. I'm going to save this from here as figure 1 dot. I'm going to save it as a TIFF file. When it comes to publication format, TIFF is usually universally accepted. Width, and this is going to be in inches, 6.5. Height equals, I don't know, I don't like perfect squares. I'm going to go with the kind of rectangular, call it 5. DPI equals 300. Okay, I'm going to stop share real quick and see if I can pull it up on my computer. R class figure 1. Okay, And you should find, after I share my screen here, that it's saved. And this looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. This is something that we could submit for publication, right? We've got our treatment. We know what these colors all represent. These colors are year. We see that in the legend pretty clearly. We know what our X and our Y axes are. We got this in the wrong unit. You'll want to fix that, but this isn't real data. This is all a fake data set, so it doesn't really matter too much. We don't have any big overlapping issues that I can see with our geom text over the top. Those error bars are looking pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. And that's it. That's about what you should end up generating from this. Hope this helps, and I hope you had pretty good success with your first attempt anyway. All right, take care.